So, we've reached 69 subscribers. I am so proud of that. And I know that if we keep this up, we can overtake this random man that I just searched up on YouTube. I know we can do that. We just have to believe in ourselves. God damn it. Now, what I wanted to talk today is horror games. Because you see, good horror games are some of the most difficult thing to realize, and now more than ever, everyone's feeling that. Probably because every single title that comes out can be reassumed in two categories. The first one is the teacher called from school because you've spent 3 hours in the bathroom rearranging your Clash of Clans village and now your mommy's hunting you down. Or your crush bullied you because she believed that spending 3 hours in the bathroom rearranging a Clash of Clans village is only for the losers, and now you've spent every single day of your life in the gym becoming a total war machine. May I say, that is a real shame because it is right in the middle.
Who do you think you are? I know who you are. Seb. I know what you crave, what you fear. Will you be able to live with yourself knowing what I'm gonna make you do? Too bad they dragged you into this. But either way, you're mine. To do with as I please.
The Evil Within follows the story of Sebastian Castellanos, a detective in the Crimson Police Department. One day, Sebastian and his colleagues Kidman and Joseph receives a call for multiple homicide in the Beacon Mental Hospital. Once there, the only things outside are empty police cars, but inside it's a slaughterhouse. Following some whispers, Joseph finds a survivor, Dr. Marcelo Jimenez, and while the dog answers some questions, Sebastian checks the CCTV. Oh no! Yeah, all the time in the world or shit. Once awake, we find ourselves tied upside down, with a gentleman ready to make some sticks out of us. And I think that this sequence is one of the very best in gaming history. I mean, the filth, The incredible sense of pure dread and the reassuring yet sad music makes everything literally unsettling. But of course we find a knife conveniently in front of us and we free ourselves. Or this game would have been 50 minutes long and I were me here making a shitty video out of it. Our escape will trigger an alarm, a perfectly visible one that cannot be disarmed or avoided in any way.
That's quite
Thanks
big.
to it, the big boy will start to chase us, but after some stealth and a leg almost amputated, we're out perfectly fine, just in time to be rescued by the random cop from before. But who cares, the world is ending, and if that wasn't enough, people are start to turn into monsters, which cause our group to crash. Sebastian, unconscious from the crash, wakes up in a strange room. A nurse, in a very cryptic way, gives us some jar of what I believe is 12 months stagnated gamer girl bathwater to unlock our true potential. But instead of that, Sebastian get herpes. And then we're back into the burning ambulance. And this concludes one of the best, yet worst intro that I've ever played. And the rest of the game is exactly confused as the intro is. You get thrown in this shape-shifting world where everything can happen and everyone is in danger. The environment oozes hopelessness. Something greater and unfathomable took his rage out on the earth, altering the population, making them bloodthirsty monsters that hunt people. Or that what you think, until right in the middle of the game, you see the semi-god man named Ruvik, the bullied Sebastian all through the story, experimenting with a dream machine. Or if you're like me and explore every corner, you'll find some secrets documented talking about the very same system, the STEM. Knowing that the game now starts a voyage into Ruvik's past, his isolation as a child due to the high status of the family, the incident that led to his sister's death that left him forever scared, physically and mentally. During his convalescence day, Ruvik's mental health continued to deteriorate at the point where he started torturing animals. His parents, perceiving what monster their son became, kept him in the house until Ruvik snapped and killed both of them. Now, being free to do what he wanted, Ruvik experimented on human, paying the Beacon Mental Hospital for a constant supply of test subjects. In his house, we can see how he studied the human mind, his connection with the hospital, making known Marcelo Jimenez, a doctor fascinated by Ruvik's work, and with his help, they'll build the first prototype of the STEM. Ruvik just wanted a way to relieve and have more time with his sister, probably because she was the only person that was able to make him happy, while Marcelo only wants fame and money. These frictions between the two would be the end of Ruvik's when a company called Mobius, interested in STEM, contacted Jimenez and set up a plan to get rid of his partner. Ruvik as a person stopped existing, but his consciousness was transferred into STEM. But something went wrong. Ruvik's personality was and still is too strong. Everyone that's connected get influenced by Ruvik's psyche. Their personality slowly disappears as their consciousness is influenced and then consumed, making them kill everyone in a desperate attempt of revenge against the world. Until he's faced with someone that, just like him, has known sufferance but managed to get out on top. Sebastian Castellanos is a survivor, figuratively and physically speaking. He was able to be the youngest detective in his town. When promoted, he met Myra, and what started just as a simple working relation between colleagues soon became a marriage. The two had a child, Lily. One evening, Sebastian arrived to his home, and seeing the house on fire, he immediately burst in, but Lily has disappeared. Presumably she died in the fire. Myra, not believing that her child is no more, start to investigate, while Sebastian keeps himself hydrated, not with water. Not so many days later, and also Mayra disappears. In her letter to Sebastian, she states that her investigation came too close to the truth and that she might be dead. After this second tragedy, Sebastian is confused, and surely all that alcohol isn't helping, and so he buries himself into work. Sebastian, thanks to his job and persistence, is able to make out the best out of every situation, and when things get too unbearable, he got a safe spot in his deep conscious where he can rest, reorganize the information, maybe recall some thought, and learn about his fight and discoveries. Ending an enemy will leave on the ground the same gamer girl bathwater used at the start. This can be used to increment Sebastian abilities, health, damage, stamina, and inventory capacity. Exploring the environments will, other than spoilers, lead to this key that Sebastian can use to unlock cabinets in the infirmary that contain supplies. For all the entirety of the game, Ruvik chases this boy named Leslie. This because Leslie's illness forces him to imitate other people's personalities, and such singularity can be used by Ruvik to transfer his consciousness into this boy, making him able to seek real revenge against Mobius. But after he successfully melts Leslie and absorbs him, we kick his ass in what is the most exaggerated, over-the-top, cocaine addiction-inducing boss fight, just to realize the Kidman was with Mobius all the time, but also not, and Ruvik made it out of the stem. But since he's not in the second game, who cares? Now, if the Evil Within 1 had a
hell no, man.
gameplay with
Oh my god!
environments, making it overall a experience, the Evil Within 2 is a constant. And not because the game itself is bad, it's just painfully slow. In the second chapter, Sebastian is approached by Mobius themselves. Since the first time was so successful, they decided to retry the STEM experiment, but instead of using a psychopath who yes have an enough strong mind to host an entire city, but also so strong that corrupt everyone that is connected to it, they decided to using child, because mental elasticity and innocent is better than a desire to kill everyone. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? With countless tests, Mobius determined that the best candidate was nonetheless than Lily Castellanos, because of course she was. So they set up the fire and kidnapped her. But of course everything went to shit, and now a multi-billion-dollar company needs the help of an alcoholic detective. Once connected to STEM, Sebastian will basically have a bad trip, briefly re-seeing the most traumatic moment in his life, and then what would be his safe room created by Kidman to resemble Sebastian's office. Watching the mirror will cause him to trip a little bit more. After that, we finally reach our destination. But as Mobius boss man said, there's something wrong, and we can tell that because there's no electricity, a man is literally stuck in the moment of his death, and also outside is full of degenerates. But we already know we're in a fake dimension. We know that every danger can be gunned down or avoided, and that's literally the problem with the Evil Within 2. You have no atmosphere. 80% of the game take place in the fake Union City, created by Mobius in the STEM reality, and it's really cool that they allow you complete exploration thanks to a weird-ass phone created by Engineer O'Neill of the Mobius extraction team that we luckily found just in the first 2 minutes of the game. Sebastian can track down different signals from all over the town. Some of them may lead to ammo pouches that will increase the numbers of carryable bullets, generic supplies, and weapons parts. Unlike the first title, here your arsenal can only be improved using these pieces of scrap, while the gel can be utilized only to sharp Sebastian's personal abilities, more health, better stealth, accuracy, stamina. Gunpowder, along other things like tubes, fuses and culinary powder, are parts of the crafting system. But here, unlike the first title, we can also craft bullets, syringes and first aid kits, and it sounds perfect. More resources, different gameplay, more things to see and manage, but in reality it isn't. The Evil Within 1 was criticized for its simplicity. Being a linear game, you simply had a predetermined path to follow, where stealth and action moments were dictated by the developers, giving you next to no ammo or incredibly strong enemies. And it worked really good because they lasted for maximum 10 minutes. After that there were an action scene or a complete change of scenery. Scenery that, being beautifully crafted, were able to emanate happiness for the one related to happy memories and hopelessness for the one related to traumatic events. Why can I say the same about Lily's house? This was an incredibly happy place for her, and she's the core of the stem. Probably because all the effort went into modeling this pointless city that we're forced to traverse every time we have to do something. But hey, at least now we can choose our path. All the time in the streets will be usually spent squatting, hoping that the enemies won't see you. I mean, you have the liberty to choose. If you want to waste all of your ammo in 3 enemies and then die for all the others, or reaching the objective with your pockets empty and then die for the enemies that are waiting you there. And this goes on for all the game. I specifically remember when I had to reach the theater to fight the first maniac of the game, an Italian photographer asphyxiated with the beauty in the moment of the death, and he's also the same man as the litter the city with what he calls sculptures. But once I arrived at the theater, after 40 minutes of crouch walking, the entrance was blocked, and the game purposely made you go back to destroy 2 pictures to get the entrance unblocked. I was so frustrated that I simply closed the game, reopened 3 days later after I touched some grass. Inside the theater we'll face Valentino Stefano, and I love the first part where he alters the corridor. It really makes you feel like you're a rat facing an exterminator until the real boss fight comes and we just have to shoot him. Remember how boss were in the first Evil Within? They persecute you through multiple chapters, actively hunting Sebastian down until the final fight, which wasn't just a day at the shooting range. For Ruvik's sister, since she perished in the burn by fire, we can only use incinerators, gas valves or explosive barrels to harm and ultimately end her. For Safehead, we have to time every move for being able to crush him, or he'll continuously spawn back using all the safes around. Boss fights that were so incredibly and unbelievably good that they've been reused in the second game as a gimmick fight against Father Theodore, the man who was supposed to be the strongest enemy in the Evil Within 2, which, P.S., wasn't.
Myra?
So, what the fuck is going on? While Sebastian in the previous year was hydrating himself, Myra worked her ass off to find Mobius. Through an unspecified process, she was able to find a couple of people inside Mobius that wanted to take it down themselves. Esmeralda Torres, Theodore, yes, Father Theodore, Hoffman and Kidman. Through her new friends, Myra was able to infiltrate inside Union. Their plan was that one of them had to replace Lily as Temcore and send a signal to all Mobius personnel frying their brain, because of course if you're an evil corporate you're going to put a chip inside the brain of everyone that works for you, including you, the boss. Yes, this is a massive plot genius idea, but both Torres and Hoffman perish while helping Sebastian. Well, Theodore revealed his incredibly strong psychotic nature, and Myra's obsession for Lily's security corrupted her mind at the point where she thinks everyone's a threat. Initially, Sebastian tried to talk to Myra, but her protective nature is too strong. She won't let Lily go because she's the only one able to protect her. What follows is one of the worst boss fights that I've ever played. I mean, there is literally nothing new, difficult, fun, or scary about it. It's just a common stuff. We literally have to fight the common stuff. After gunning Myra down, we'll tuck some sense into her mind, so she decides to follow the plan. While she sends signals, Sebastian takes Lily and starts to go toward the extraction point. Meanwhile, Kidman kills too many people to save, once again, Sebastian, since Mobius wasn't going to let him live. When Sebastian finally wakes up, Myra sends the signal, and basically everyone inside Mobius is dead. The game ends with Lily and our favorite detective in their car and start going towards whatever. And in my opinion, I'm telling you, you're still inside this time dream. We're in a simulation inside the simulation inside the simulation. Overall, The Evil Within 1 and 2 are incredibly good survival horror games. The first Evil Within is a cinematic descent into a spiral of desperation and madness, while the second one was more of an experiment with open world mechanics that just ended up with The Evil Within 2 name, where fear, unlike the first game, isn't detected by shape-shifting environments, incredibly strong enemies that can one-shot you, and the incredible sense of upcoming doom, but by the sensation of you being spotted by an enemy and subsequently get killed, and so you have to do all the 40/50 minutes of crouch walking again. But hey, at least now we can choose if we want to do stealth or not. I really appreciate you being here, and again, thank you so much for the 69 subscribers. If you made it this far, write this number in the comments so I know you are a true Apino. Really, thank you so much for enjoying this video. I truly hope two things. The first one is that again you're enjoying this video, and the second one is that I hope to see you next time. Let me know down what games would you like to do next, or if maybe you want to see an exploration or review or another gameplay. I'm thinking about an exploration. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and please, for God's sake, have a good day.